What is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 332. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I am joined by Emilio Lopez,
Sup, people? How's it going?
Chris Seeley,
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero,
Adam stories, man. Shit.
Adam Vale,
Merry Christmas.
Brett Murdoch,
What up, people?
and joining us once again, Mr. Riku-san, one, the only one.
From Jersey.
What is going
Jersey,
on?
what?
Back, yeah, but he's from Jersey. Fuck, what's that about? You know? Oh man, back with another one. You already know. So Manny, answer your question. Yes, I am clipping. Fucking.
Oh, man, you got some buildings.
Yeah,
going
I got
through your
buildings
body,
going
like
through me right
Matrix.
now. Wish I could fix that. Oh,
Yeah, coming
that
back.
fixed it a
We're all
little
going
bit.
to the theater to see that together. We're all
So
gonna hold
for you
hands.
guys watching us right now, what's going on is that Logic Capture, the thing I normally use, doesn't want to cooperate. So I was going to use my regular webcam, but I'm like, I'm going to be backwards anyway. May as well use the fancy camera. So I'm on the fancy camera right now. You know, maybe my still orange guy. I'm using my normal lighting now.
It's whatever. It's your
Yeah.
orange. It is what it is.
Yeah, I could change it though. You know, change the color gradient and shit. You know, that's real orange. So yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I got to lower that shit. Anyway, we're back with another round. By the way, this week was kind of fucking light in news, man. Light in news.
No news.
We got some stuff to talk about, but kind of dry, bruh. Kind of dry. But
Rumors. There's
yeah,
always rumors.
yeah. There are too many fucking rumors. You know. Anyway, so we're gonna kick things off. Actually, you know what? Let's talk about Ratchet and Clank a little bit later. I want to do numbers, man.
We're
Chris,
playing Lotto.
Starting off the show with the numbers. Coming in hot.
motherfuckers love numbers, so let's talk about some numbers here. So we're gonna talk
And on the
about
horses.
actually, Sony and Microsoft released their financials, right, Chris? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, so I've only had time to look at Sony's financials because I'll give it up. Like Nintendo only does one thing, right? They make games, so their financials are straightforward. It's just gaming. Sony's are clean. They break down by segment, and it's very clear what you're looking at. Yo, Microsoft, it's like looking for the fucking Ark of the Covenant when trying to find Xbox in there, man. So if anybody wants to ask a question for Sunday, I will have time to look for it, but I didn't have time today to check that out.
Yeah.
So,
So for tonight, just Sony and Nintendo, then, right? Is that what we're doing?
I'm doing Sony. I
Sony.
didn't-
Okay, Sony's fine. They're the easiest one. Hey, you got the charts? Let's go. All right.
Yeah, so I was
Whoa.
looking at can you see this?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So let me hit
Good
let me
room.
go back up to the segment.
Those Discord sounds, bro. Go close off those porn tabs.
Yeah, I just
All right, for you guys listening, just give us a sec while Chris gets a little bit organized here. So yeah, was this expected, Chris? I wasn't expecting the numbers to drop. I think you were expecting them though, right?
I did. I just didn't know when, you know. Maybe I should buy some stock so I could be like, hey Chris, you want to be on the phone call or sit there like I just want to download this shit early.
Hey, just buy one action, man.
Yeah. So so Sony had not only a very good quarter, they had a very good fiscal year. And by Sony I mean PlayStation. So I'm going to make
Yes.
that. I'm going to just say they call it games and network services. That's PlayStation when I say that. But Sony overall, corporate wise, the company overall had a good fiscal year. I think the only segment that lost money was two segments of Sony Pictures and their imaging section, so their camera stuff.
The camera
But-
stuff, yeah.
But
So the
everything
usual
else
suspects.
was positive, especially PlayStation, and then their services they offer in Japan, which are just local, like life insurance and financial services. So Sony has their own accounting and stuff they do that did well, but we're here to talk about PlayStation. So PlayStation did phenomenally well. It was up for the quarter 34% over last year, and overall I think when I calculated the overall fiscal, it was up 34%. So let me I didn't have this. I thought I had it selected. I'm only seeing the quarter now. Okay, here's the. Oh no, that's their projection. So their projection for next year is modest, actually.
Really?
And I'm only thinking it's yeah, they're only predicting a 9% increase in profit for PlayStation, and I can only assume that's because of the freaking shortages in chip supply. Like, I don't think this whole thing with you not being able to find a PlayStation, I don't think that's going to end anytime soon. I don't. I think they know that too, and they're
Even with
just
the chip
Because of the
shortages and
chip
all that,
shortage, right?
yeah.
yeah, yeah. They can't manufacture enough systems, and they also said that there was an impact in their operating income for PlayStation, and they said specifically in the detailed report. This is I'm just looking at the presentation for the summary. The detailed report, they said that their strategic pricing, that's how they refer to it, basically how they price the digital and this version of PlayStation, could not cover their manufacturing cost.
Oh, wow.
So they are losing money on each system. So that's why there's a negative operating income. But there's overall the sales were positive, and most of that was due to, they said, an increase in PlayStation Plus subscriptions, an increase in digital sales. Of course, as we pointed out in previous throwdowns too, the Rona had a lot to do with it. People were spending more on games,
Yeah.
being locked down and stuff, looking for entertainment. So game sales overall, and you can look, we talked about this with Activision too, game sales soared last year. So that too helped them. So in the software segment, a lot of this profit was due to um, software sales. But they did say they made about, I think, 7.8 billion US in hardware sales, and that's even with limited stock. I can't find a PlayStation. If it wasn't for Carlos, I wouldn't have one. If it wasn't for Fergus Mills, he wouldn't have one. It was ridiculous, and I don't think
Shout out to
that's
everyone.
changed. Huh?
Shout out to everyone, man.
Yeah. Shout out to everyone. So that hasn't changed. The same thing with Xbox. Now you notice too, like, so if I mean, I know we don't care about Apple, but they, when they do their reveals, their hardware reveals, they usually update their SKUs across the board. You know, it's like the new iMac, a new iPad Pro, blah, blah. This time around, they've had two different presentations where they've segmented what they're updating, and even all their SKUs don't get updates. And why is that? Because they can't manufacture enough chips and fab enough updates to update the SKUs at one time. They used to have one big presentation, and then the Worldwide Developer Conference. So they had two big shows. This time they've had like three hardware shows, and they even haven't updated their whole hardware. And like that's not anything about them. It's just that overall, this whole thing with the Rona and manufacturing slowdowns and chip shortages affects everyone. I mean, go try to buy a 3000 series Nvidia card.
Mm-hmm.
Go even try to buy an Xbox. Go try to find some new phones. You can't find them. It affects everything. So overall, Sony had a very good year. Like I said, their only losses was Sony Pictures. I think Sony Pictures lost something like $6 billion. You can see the quarterly they lost, I think, roughly 1.5 billion for the quarter, which is huge, right? That's not chump change. But for the year, they lost a lot more. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and then I'm seeing here that they sold. Let me look at it. 7.8 million PlayStation 5s, and it's actually sold more than PlayStation 4 did at the same time, in the same time frame.
Which is, I think it's well, that's wild, but that's not unexpected because remember, a lot of those sales were from scalpers.
Yes,
So they
right.
still made
Yeah.
their money.
Or the scalpers right now sitting.
Yeah. So scalpers were buying up all the stock. So in terms of initial hardware sales, yes, they made a huge profit and they sold faster. It's just because scalpers were buying a majority of those systems and sitting on them, and people don't want to deal with that. People just want to buy the system, and there's a shortage now. So you have scalpers sitting on thousands of systems. So they're losing residual income on software. Even though their software did well, it could do better because those systems are not in people's hands. They're sitting somewhere in somebody's garage.
Let me ask you something. Do you believe some of the reports that say that scalpers only account for 10% of those sales?
I don't know. I don't know. Let's see.
And if they are, let's just say for the sake of argument, those 10% of those sales are from scalpers. How many systems would they have actually sold if you take that 10% away?
Well, if you're saying 10% of 7.6, so 760,000.
7.8.
So 7.8. Okay, so you're at 780,000. So they would have only sold around roughly 7 million without
Okay,
the
7
scalpers.
million.
If you only take the 10%,
Yeah,
I'd say it's more like double that.
really,
Because it's
20%.
not just scalpers in one
Yeah.
region, it's scalpers in most regions. Besides, I don't think that was happening in Japan and in Europe and here. For sure it was happening.
Yeah.
And it's still happening. So I think it's way more than that.
Yeah, I feel like 10% is low. I mean, if you even think about it, for every 10 PlayStations on the shelf, only one of them is bought by a scalper.
That's a good point.
Right,
But
yeah,
what, wouldn't
sounds
those systems
low.
have sold out regardless? That's what we're here. I'm seeing in the chat right now.
I really do think they low key would have sold out
No,
regardless.
well, that's not my argument.
Yeah.
That they
No, I
wouldn't have sold out. My argument is that you would have had an even bigger profit margin on software if those systems.
Oh,
were
absolutely,
enhanced.
absolutely.
People
So
using
if you
it,
said
logging and
yes,
buying.
Yeah,
yes, if you said they had record 7.8 million, right? But those 7.8 million people,
people.
not
Yeah,
roughly 6 million people, and then over a million, I guarantee, are sitting somewhere waiting
Yeah.
to be scalped, and that's what's hurting them.
yeah. No, I mean we talked about this before. How they talked about how the attach rate isn't as high as they expected. Of course not, because these guys are just sitting on these consoles. You know.
Yo, man, they're only playing Astro's Playroom.
No, they're not playing shit. It's just sitting. These assholes.
No,
just-
you see what I'm saying though. There's all these PlayStations that are out there, and they're only playing Astro's Playroom. You know, kind of like Wii bowling.
No, but the point is those.
I'm the joke, dude. The joke. That's the joke.
All right, it went over my head. Anyway, Chris, go on.
Yeah. So, I mean, for what it is, for even those conditions, you got the Rona, you got scalpers, you got chip shortages. They made out pretty well, and overall, the company saw huge profits. Like, so if you look at this, like, I mean, the consolidated results, they had an 8% increase in overall sales for the entire company, like Sony total, like everything, over the year before. And that's with taking big losses in imaging and Sony Pictures, which, like I said, were the only two segments I think that lost a major amount of money. But overall, I think PlayStation made up for Sony Pictures losses, and imaging losses weren't too bad. So overall, they made out rather well.
Except for Sony Pictures, you know.
Yeah, even the music segment was profitable, but only because they sold off a label. I'm not familiar with Sony's sub labels, so I won't get into that. We only care about PlayStation, so but they sold a label. I saw it in the main financial report.
All right, so
Whatever,
They still own
what
Columbia, right?
yeah.
They still own Columbia and Epic.
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think that's all integrated.
Because that was that. I remember when I did my internship, it was at that Sony building that they sold a few years back. And I'm assuming they just sold the building. They didn't
The one
sell
with the
everything
hole
in it. It's like, yeah, the one with the, we used to say the one with the half pipe up top.
Yeah, on the
That's
roof.
what it looked like, a half pipe on the top of the building.
Well, they also sold their Japanese headquarters too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they're
The one they
running
had
out
for
of
years, the one
somebody's
from
basement.
I don't know where they are. I know Sony Interactive, which is PlayStation now, is in San Francisco. I don't know where a lot of their other stuff is. Maybe they have smaller headquarters around Japan, but not that big old building that you used to see from the 80s films talking about Sony Electronics. They don't have that building anymore.
Nothing lasts forever.
Yeah. So, what are the big like takeaways that we could glean from this thing?
The big takeaways is that they have had a phenomenal uptick in software sales and subscriptions signups for PlayStation Network. And the for what it is, the the sales of PS5 were rather good. Uh, like I said, and I agree with people. Like those systems would have sold either way. But the software sales, remember, software is hurt with the hardware that's not in real people's hands.
Yeah.
Like scalpers buying systems is one thing. Them sitting on it is quite another thing. But even with that, with the conditions, with things the way they are with Rona and stuff, there was a huge uptick in software sales, especially first party titles, and there was an increase in first time owners and PlayStation Network subscriptions for first timers. So that was also huge. So that was the main impacts of this last fiscal year for PlayStation.
Yeah. I like what Two Mega just said. He goes, Sony overcame the Rona and Jim Ryan.
But like I said, their predictions for next fiscal year are way more conservative. Like that that 29% increase year over year I talked about now.
Yeah.
Their projection is only 9% for
Interesting.
next fiscal year. That's very conservative for a time period when we're going to actually get next gen games.
Yeah.
We're starting to, and you're going to get those titles. So what would impact those sales? And the only thing
chip shortage.
is a chip shortage, right? Yeah. So people still not being able to get systems. So the sales may actually slow, even though they were big out the gate, they may slow down. And remember, everybody's competing for the same resources. Everybody. I'm not just talking. It's not just Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. It's Apple, Samsung, IBM. Everybody. Everybody makes chips. Everybody
car
needs those
companies, too.
resources.
Oh, yeah,
Nvidia, AMD, Intel. Everybody uses the same resource. Everybody goes to China for the rare earths. They go there for their lithium. They go there for the silicon. They go there for the copper. And so they choke out the market. If they don't supply it, nobody has it.
Man, we gotta start mining asteroids for this shit, man.
Yeah.
See, I seen Armageddon. I know how it
Yeah,
works.
get
You know, we
Bruce
just gotta
Willis up
get
there, man.
We get
You
Bruce
know?
Willis and friends. And
That's it. Ben
Bruce
Affleck,
Let's do it.
Friends.
Let's
you
do
know,
it.
Ving Rhames, you know.
Exactly. Bring back Aerosmith. Come on. Let's do this. Let's do it.
Awesome. All right. I guess, does anybody have any questions about these financials?
Yeah.
Predictable. I mean, Sony's big money maker is always PlayStation, and it's like Chris. Every time Chris goes through the numbers, like, yeah, Image and Sony Pictures have been at a loss and stuff, and I'm like, yeah.
I think this may be the third year in a row on Throwdown. I'm like, what are they doing with Sony Pictures? And the only reason I can think of that they don't try to sell off like a piece of it, like TriStar or whatever, is they'd have to sell off the IP with it. They'd have to lose something. And they're banking on Spider-Man constantly.
Yeah.
That's why they're
They also own Ghostbusters, right?
Yes,
It's the
they own
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, through Columbia they own some IP, so they own Ghostbusters now, right? When they absorbed TriStar, they got some stuff. You know, they've
got
absorbed
Beverly
all
Hills
these
Cop.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got all these things now. They won't sell it off. They'll just eat those losses. But imagine if PlayStation wasn't doing well. How do you eat those losses?
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
PlayStation, we've said this a million times, PlayStation is what's keeping Sony afloat,
Yeah.
you know?
it really is.
Nobody buys their Walkmans anymore.
Yeah, nobody, I was about to say that. Nobody's
That
walking
was their
that
top
shit.
seller.
You
I'm
know?
sure everybody had a Sony Walkman at some point.
Back in the day, of course.
That
you know?
was it. That was a must-have.
Had to have it. All right, man. Good stuff. What's going on with Nintendo? Are we going to get any financial from in the future, or
You know what? I'll look at their investor relations.
no? But
If
I'm
anybody
good.
wants to ask me for Sunday, I'll
Yeah,
time
but
to-
yeah. We'll Chris, you know, you have a few days to sift through Microsoft's because those take a while because Microsoft hides those Xbox numbers, you know.
Because they don't want them to know that they're fucking losing money off of that shit.
Yeah, let's be real here. I gotta remember to look at this camera, not that camera. You know. All right, let's get into it, man. So we're gonna talk about today's state of play, which was primarily focused on Ratchet Clank Rift Apart. Very excited about that. But they actually started with two more indie-ish games before that. So we can just get those shit out of the way real quick. They had Subnautica. It's getting like a part 2. It's like on an ice planet. I didn't even know the game was in space. So cool. I'm not playing that shit. Scared the fuck out of me, all that underwater shit. And then they're getting some like Ratchet and Clank DLC. Actually, no, I got to step back. Riku put me on, bro. Riku told me I didn't know this. This shows you how invested I am in this game. Among Us is coming to PlayStation. I thought it was already on PlayStation. So coming to PlayStation, and they're gonna have Ratchet and Clank skins. So pretty cool stuff, So got that shit out of the way, and then we got 15 minutes of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart gameplay, and it was fucking glorious, man. But Riku, you're as big a Ratchet and Clank fan as I am. Although I thought you were more of a Ratchet and Clank fan than me. Then I realized I learned that you missed out on the whole PS3 era. So maybe I'm more a Ratchet and Clank fan than you, bro. I don't know.
I mean, I mean, here's the thing: you're there day one for this.
Day
stuff,
one,
I mean,
day one. With the whole
Yeah,
franchise, by the way, the whole franchise. I was there for the first game, day one. So
yeah.
I love
I
me.
would say they
Yeah.
lost me during the PS3 era a bit, but
Yeah.
I'm back on.
But anyway, what
And
are your thoughts on Rift Apart, man?
bro, I was hyped, man. The new chick, her name is Rivet,
Rivet, yeah.
and
Rivet and
yeah,
Clank.
Rivet and Clank. They said that in there. He's like, we
Yep.
gotta go. Ratchet. He's like, he has to go to see Rivet and Clank, and I'm glad they chose a name that's similar to Ratchet. 2 syllables,
Yeah.
still with an R. So, like, I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do with Rivet after this game. Maybe she can get her own game, or I don't know. Maybe she's a one-hit wonder.
I think
Who
it's gonna.
knows? But,
I honestly think the next game's gonna be called Rivet and Clank. I think they're giving us a preview,
probably.
but
It
we
looks
shall
like,
see.
from a gameplay standpoint, she plays basically the same as Ratchet. If there's one thing I did notice about her from a design standpoint is that maybe it's because they're from different dimensions and the anatomy of a Lombax and this one is a bit different than that one, or maybe this is just a female Lombax thing. But Ratchet's, obviously Lombax is a fictional species, but in regards to the design of the Lombax on Ratchet, his tail is obviously designed like a lion, and her tail is designed like a raccoon's. Like it looks very similar in design to like Sly Cooper's. The only reason I was able to realize this on her is because when she was running, I was like, "Damn, her tail's pretty, pretty thick."
Yeah,
Always looking at that tail. Look
you
at
know,
that.
thick
And
tail.
it reminded me of Sly, and I was like, "Wait a second, Ratchet doesn't have a tail. Like he has a lion tail." So that was one thing from a design standpoint that
I
stood
think
out
it's
to me.
probably because she's female. Wasn't there another female Lombax in these games, or am I bugging?
No, there was in Going
Mm.
Commando. There was a character called Angela,
Yeah.
and
So
she was. They said that she wasn't a Lombax, and she never showed up again. She only
Hmm.
showed up in that one game, and it was just odd because at later in the series they're like Ratchet is the only Lombax left in their dimension. So it's like, okay, what about Angela that you
yeah,
showed off, and then back in time and all that stuff. So it was weird. But the point is, I feel like the franchise for a while they always had like one female character that kind of alluded to having some sort of like relationship with Ratchet. Like you said, Angela. Third one was Sasha, and then they had that humanoid looking girl for like majority of the future games.
yeah,
They always kind of like swapped them out, but I think this one, if she's not a one hit wonder, she's probably gonna be like the main one moving forward.
yeah. I
But
agree.
yeah, gameplay wise, I do like the new traversing abilities. Like the whole dashing and the after images and the wall running. I I'm glad they added wall running because from a gameplay standpoint, Ratchet has always been able to like wall hop off of walls like from one wall to the next. But that was about it from a traversal standpoint, other than running and jumping and swing shot. So adding more traversal to Ratchet and Clank's gameplay, I think that was I think that's a great addition, and also the fact that one thing I was afraid of when I saw when they started off with Rivet with Clank and then they showed Ratchet by himself, if there was one thing that I was worried about was if you play a lot of Ratchet and Clank, like not including fucking full frontal assault, not including full frontal assault, every time Ratchet is not with Clank, from a gameplay standpoint, Ratchet feels neutered.
Yes.
He doesn't, you can't, use your hover
Yeah.
because that's Clank's job. That's what he's there for and whatnot. And I'm glad that when you're using Ratchet, as far as what they showed in this gameplay, when you're using Ratchet, he will use his the boosters on his shoes to act as the hover that Clank would have been there for, and they got that from Full Frontal. So I'm like, Thank God, because I do not want to use Ratchet. Because if you played Ratchet Deadlock, first of all, Clank's name's not even a fucking title.
Yeah.
Why? Because you don't fucking have him for the entire game, and that was one of the things that annoyed me. It's like you don't have him, so it just felt that game just felt weird without Clank on your back. So I was afraid that they were gonna do something like that, but glad that's not the case. And then they're adding all of the stuff that a mainline full blown Ratchet and Clank game should have. So we saw the charge boosts are back, the mini games, the arena, all of that stuff. This is a full price Ratchet and Clank game. We haven't had one in. I think the last one was A Crack in Time in 2009, bro. So that's over a decade ago. Every Ratchet and Clank game since A Crack in Time has been either a reboot or a downloadable or a spin-off.
Yeah, so like a mainline game, it's been always. Damn, I didn't realize that's crazy. Because I've played all these games, but you're right, they're not like core games.
Yeah,
you know.
No, not even the fucking reboot. Because the reboot that
doesn't count.
That was $40, and that was a movie tie-in. So that game at one point wasn't even like a thought to be existed. Sony just said, make a game with this movie that you're making, and then they just threw it together, and then it became the best-selling Ratchet and Clank game in the franchise. The fuck, but no, in regards to this one though, there's one thing I actually when I was looking up Soniac, it was interesting that I found out that during A Crack in Time, that was supposed to be the end of the franchise.
Really?
It wasn't supposed to continue after that until Sony came and was like, hey man, you can do some more of these Ratchet and Clanks, and then Sonic was like, I mean, we're kind of done with the story, because if you played A Crack in Time, it felt like a conclusion to a lot of reveals that they had for both Ratchet and Clank. So it's not surprising that all of the games after that haven't been a mainline Ratchet game, because they were going to end the franchise there. You had a competitive spinoff with Full Frontal Assault. You had a co-op spinoff with All for One. You had the little downloadables here and there. But yeah, I'm glad that the franchise still exists. They may have went through a bumpy road with me. Like I said, I kind of fell off during that point, and you understand why, because those games technically shouldn't have existed in the first place.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that, but you're right. Like, Crack in Time was awesome, by the way. Like, it did feel like an end to it, and I didn't really put that together. I'm like, oh yeah, they kind of just meandered for a decade,
Damn, Rico, you got the juice now.
Yeah, right.
You
That's
know it.
But yeah, so yeah, you already know. I'm already happy. I've said this before. To me, this is the first must-own PlayStation game, like PlayStation 5 game. So very excited. Sorry, Returnal, you ain't it. You ain't it. You ain't it.
I hear something. That's the crazy Sony fans that are coming to burn your house down now.
Yeah, believe it or not, the Sony fans have been okay with me with my preview. Also, by the way, off topic but still on it. I've been noticed by Senpai. Mr. David Jaffe posted a screenshot from my review. So, and he's like, almost insurmountable difficulty. I don't know if I want to play this shit. But there's one guy who's like, the game's not that hard. All right, bro. You haven't even played the fucking game. How do you know?
Yeah, how do you know?
Yeah, but
he had a guy that sounded like Mega Jack on there, by the way.
It
sounded so much like Mega Jack.
I wouldn't be surprised if he had hip hop on, we could talk about that later. But yeah, anyway, Ratchet and Clank, I've been hyped for this, and I love it's just, everything about it literally looks like a fucking Pixar movie, in terms of like graphics and stuff. But it's funny, people have been saying about every Ratchet and Clank game since the PS3 era, so it goes to show you how good these games look.
They made a movie out of all those.
Yeah, they did.
The thing about it, it was like after that movie came out, whatever they did whatever the research or whatever they did with the CG company to get it to look like that, because that remake game looked the most CG. Yeah. And then it sort of spread to all of their other games. Like Spider-Man looks like it's fucking CG. They have all that crazy like upscaling tech that makes it look super smooth.
Yeah, but I'm saying even before that movie, I'm talking about 2009. Like Riku said, that when Crack in Time came out, we're like, oh shit, this looks like a Pixar movie. So people have been saying that for a decade. So it goes to show you just how good these games always constantly look. And the thing that excites me the most about this is, besides the fact that it's Ratchet and Clank games are like, they're like God of War. They're comfort food games. You know what you're gonna get. But the SSD shit, the fast loading, that was fucking crazy. You know, because you're loading into all these different dimensions, and it's not just like a little slice of that world. It's the whole world they load up in seconds. Like you see it, like when he's traveling through dimensions, that's the loading screen, and then bam, he's right there. So that's gonna be cool. I want to see. I don't know if the trailer touched on this. I want to see weapons that make specific use of that fast loading. You know, that'd be pretty dope. But I'm pretty excited about that. Go ahead, Riku.
Yeah, I know Sony. You know, if there's any company that has proven themselves to be very creative when it comes to gun weapons, it's Insomniac.
Yes,
they've proven it probably more than, and like I would say Doom is up there too. But
Gearbox with the Borderlands.
Gearbox
cool.
is up there with them too. But like Insomniac has done this with Ratchet, they've done it with Resistance, and they've done it even with fucking Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man, if you play Spider-Man at a high level, you're basically playing it just like you would play Ratchet and Clank. You're pulling up your weapon wheel, and you're throwing gadgets all over the place, and you're doing all types of crazy shit while your gadgets are doing crazy shit too. That's Ratchet and Clank as well, you know.
Damn, I didn't think about that. You're 100% right. Like, yeah, if you get into those big encounters, you have to throw all that fucking shit around just to survive.
You gotta throw the whole kitchen sink at him.
Yeah. By the way, Riku, you know I gotta fuck with you, man. How do you pronounce the name of the company?
Soniac. Soniac, yeah. I don't know.
Som, not Som, Insomniac.
Insomniac.
There you go. You know, but you could keep saying Monster Hunter though. That's okay.
Well, all right. If we're doing this right now, Adam, how do you pronounce the name of the person who can't pronounce Insomniac?
What? You gonna make fun of my Brooklynese? Yo, you can't do that shit.
You know. Hey, I'm walking in. You know, there's your Brooklynese. You know.
Every time I hear you say his name, it sounds like Rico.
Yeah,
no, it's Rico. That's how it's Rico suave. Rico uno. Telemundo.
Yeah. But yeah, Ratchet & Clank, I'm ready for this, man. And I think Rivet's cool. You know, I want to see more of her. I like how the purchases you make with her and Ratchet, they kind of affect each other. You know, when you go to Mrs. Zircon, by the way, Mrs. Zircon, not Mr. Zircon. That's my boy right there. Mr. Zircon lives to kill. You know, so they got a Mrs. Zircon now.
Well, the thing is, Mrs. Zircon, she actually debuted in Into the Nexus.
Oh shit!
The downloadable, that last downloadable Ratchet and Clank game that came out, like a day before the PlayStation 4. And
oh shit! No wonder I didn't. It's a downloadable game. Was it a downloadable game or like a mobile game or like a game?
No, it was a PSN downloadable PS3 game.
Yeah, because I'm like, hold on, I played Into the Nexus. I guess I just forgot about her.
Yeah, when you level up Mr. Zircon in that game, then Zircon Jr. joins you. So it's like Mr. Zircon and Zircon Jr.
Yeah.
And then when you level it to max, Mrs. Zircon pops up. And then
the
second time Mrs. Zircon was in the franchise was in the reboot, the 2016 one. She was a boss.
Yeah.
And then when you see her in this like alternate dimension version of her, I think they call this version Miss Zircon.
Yeah, Miss Zircon. Yeah, she's probably not married. Yeah.
Yeah, she's not married. She's out here on the street selling guns and shit.
You know,
it's funny. It's funny. Yeah. The franchise still has its like charm in regards to like comedy and whatnot.
Yeah,
so that's good. If there's one thing I hope that this Ratchet and Clank game has, which they did say it will have, you know, the open areas that which started in Going Commando, where you're like traversing through these big open areas, you're collecting something for someone to get off of the planet or get more bolts. I want to see more planets like that, because usually in a Ratchet and Clank game, we have at max 2 of those worlds.
Yeah.
2 to 1. We never get more than 2. So I want to see
all of them. All of them should be like that. Fuck it. You know?
To be honest, all of them really should be like that, but I doubt it. I obviously, I think majority of them are going to be just very bigger than what we remembered, but still linear. But I would like at least 3 of those big open world areas, because those are my favorite ones, man.
Yeah.
Those are always the best levels.
What about the possibility of like reworked versions of older levels? What do you think about that? Because they said you're going to see a lot of old levels just redone.
Yeah, because they're trying to, you know, story-wise, they're saying this is the alternate version of this planet and how it looks and whatnot. So that's a good excuse to show us how old level old levels would look in this new way. Other than how 2016 did it, those were like damn near 1-to-1
Yeah.
in some of them. But here it's like they actually get to do a cool remix onto it, so it's cool that we will see some of those. And then obviously, since this has to do with dimension manipulation and whatnot, a lot of people, including myself, want to see something at the end of this game, man. One of those dimensions, and you see Jack and Daxter. Let's go, let's do it. Let's start.
Yo, man, they're going to Sly World too.
No, it's got to be Insomniac game. So you're gonna see like the fucking Resistance.
That's the thing, though.
You're gonna see Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man's gonna show up. Hey, Ratchet.
Hey, Ratchet, how's it going?
Has that BC Boys Intergalactic as a theme song for it as they try.
Uh-oh.
Or you're gonna see Miles Morales. He's like, Bambinado.
Yeah. Hi, mommy. Abuela.
Another thing the franchise does that I really liked, and they haven't really like done it heavily since A Crack in Time, Up Your Arsenal and Going Commando, are the armors, man.
Yes.
That's one the company has been doing very well when it comes to Spider-Man and Miles Morales. They've had a lot of dope suits in those games, and you can tell they're very experienced when it comes to making very dope looking suits and armors and whatnot. So when they showed in the trailer all of those dope suits, man, I was hyped. I was like, man, let's go. All of those suits look fucking awesome.
I always love the armors that completely cover him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Give
it
me
looks like
that
they had a
shit.
lot of them.
Yeah.
It looks like they had a lot of them in this game. So, man, this whole game's just gonna be hype. This is definitely like working its way to be the best in the franchise.
Yeah, it could be. It's going to be pretty dope. So, by the way, I found this out. So the game comes out a day separated from Intergrade. I'm like, bro, you're fucking crazy, man.
Man.
But this game takes more precedent at Intergrade. Intergrade, I'll wait. I'm good. So I played that shit already.
Yeah, I was gonna say you played it already. I still haven't played 7 Remake.
Oh,
And when I saw that they were making a PS5 version, including Intergrade, I was just like, oh shit. Well, I mean, good thing comes to those who, and I'll play that one for the first time, which will be good. My first experience for a 7 Remake will be, an updated, nice, clean version along with the DLC. But yeah, for someone like me, I'm gonna have to choose between Ratchet and 7 Remake, and I'm going with Ratchet.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, for me it's easy. I'm like Ratchet. Ratchet's the new game there. By the way, Riku, how far did you get into your Final Fantasy challenge?
I stopped right after I finished Final Fantasy Tactics. So the next thing I was going to play was Crisis Core.
Yeah,
I was gonna play Crisis Core, and then I was gonna play the 7 Remake, which when I heard the PS5 version was coming out, I kind of pushed that back to the summer. So,
did you get to 10 yet?
No, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna play Crisis Core, then I was gonna play the 7 Remake, and then I was gonna play 10. I wanted to finish all that 7 crap before I moved on.
10 is the one I want you to play, man. I've been waiting.
Yeah,
waiting.
No, 10, right? 10 is my new most hyped one to play in the franchise now.
Yeah, 10, and it's available. It's available on. What happened? Crisis Core.
Yo, man, Crisis Core. What happened?
No, I was gonna say Final Fantasy X is on that Vita, baby.
Hey, there you go, man. There you go.
And you get double the trophies.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
Cross trophies.
All right. Anything else you guys want to say about the Ratchet and Clanks? I think it's me and Rico that are hype ones. What about you, Carl? You're hype too. You're
Chris is hype too.
Yeah,
I played all of them.
Yeah, Chris, get in here, man.
Yeah, I except for Into the Next. I mean, I even have like what was the Quest for Booty? Like
I have
PS3,
that too. Yeah.
Like the downloadable ones. Like I played all of them. I was excited. And when he showed that in one part of the state of play, they did show the armor selection, and I saw the armor from Going Commando.
Yes.
I think it was the cover art too, and I saw an armor from one of the other games. So I was like, oh, they're gonna put all of them in there. So it's gonna be Callback City.
I hope all of them in there, because my favorite one was from Up Your Arsenal. It was the last one in Up Your Arsenal called the Infernox armor. It had like like this red.
It was like dark gray, right?
Yeah.
No. The one you're thinking of is the one at the end of Going Commando, the Carbonox armor. That's the picture that's the picture that the company has as their avatar right now.
Yeah, I mean, I love that armor. Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I think from a stat standpoint, that was the strongest armor in the franchise, and ever since that one, they've kind of been going downhill in regards to like defense. Like I think that one reduced damaged by like 90%, and then the game after that, the strongest suit reduced it by 80, and then the game after that was 70, and the game after that was 50. Like, damn, why are these suits getting weaker? So
because he lost his Carbonox suit somewhere.
Yeah, Carbonox is back though. I doubt it's gonna give us that level of defense, but I think in order for us to even get that suit, you got to pre-order the game. They said you had to pre-order it to get the Carbonox.
Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Well, I mean, that's like
Yeah,
a
money.
guaranteed purchase from me.
Yeah.
It's a pass for me.
So.
I'm not a big fan of that. Like I played it.
Here's the thing, man. You saw hopping those dimensions. You saw them dinosaurs.
Yeah, they got dinosaurs. I was about to say, got dinosaurs, bro.
Yeah, I don't need to kill them. They're harmless. You know, so
in the minigame, you're flying on a dinosaur, and one of them, right, was flying on a dinosaur.
If you hang out with them, if you pet them, that's cool. You know, gotta be nice to the dinosaurs. But no, I played the last one, the one that they made the movie out of.
2016, yeah.
Yeah, and it was all right. It was cool, but it was like, all right, whatever. Platformer.
Yeah, you've never been into the Ratchet and Clank series. I mean, to be honest, I have never played any of them actually. I never bothered. It was just something I wasn't really interested in.
Did you play any of the jacks or the slides?
No, never played any of those either.
Interesting.
I'm in the same boat.
Chris played them.
I played all those too. I played them all.
I watched Chris or Tony play. I wasn't really that interested in them though.
That's what I was thinking though. I was like, there's still, because I know Jack Move. Shout out to Jack Move. He's another person that said he never really played any of the Ratchets. He played all of the slides. He played a few of the jacks, but like Ratchet wasn't something he really played. And I was like, oh, this is actually a case with a lot of people who like they probably played a lot of they probably owned all the PlayStations, played a lot of the PlayStation games, and they either played Jack and Sly and not Ratchet, or they didn't play any of them. So I'm like,
interesting.
I wonder if the company has ever considered coming out with like you know what the Kingdom Hearts did, where they had like an all-in-one package collection, all the games, all the way up to fucking 3. They honestly should do that for Ratchet, just like all of the games up to fucking 20.
Yeah, that'd be dope. That's interesting because I've played all of those, bro. All the Slides, all the Jack and Daxters, all the Ratchet and Clanks, played them all. You know, got to.
So it's like the ones that are hard to get your hands on right now. Like, let's say you have a PlayStation 5, right? You can't play the original trilogy, and you can't play Tools of Destruction because a Crack in Time.
PS3 one.
Yeah, the first PS3 one, Tools of Destruction. A Crack in Time, Into the Nexus, Full Frontal Assault, and Quest for Booty are all on PlayStation now. But Tools of Destruction isn't on there, even though that's a PS3 game as well. And the Trilogy Collection, the Trilogy HD Collection that they released on PS3 and PS Vita, that's not on PS Now either. So I was like, what the hell? Why isn't this? Because, the God of War Collection is on there. And I think the Sly Collection is on there too. So it's like, once again, PS Now is just like, where are the shit that should be there, So it's just
that's weird.
At this point, you might as well just throw them all in a collection.
By the way, fun fact: Ratchet and Clank Future. That was one of the first games I bought for PS3. When I got the PS3, I bought that and Uncharted and Assassin's Creed. Those were the first 3 games I bought for the PS3 when I bought it.
Tools of Destruction was the game I wanted to get my PS3 for. So that game was the game that sold me on the PS3. I was like, I'm gonna get Warhawk as well, and that Dynasty Warrior 6.
Hey, there you go, man. Yeah, because PS3 was expensive, but that was also the same year when GTA was coming out and Metal Gear. So I was like, and Final Fantasy. I was like, all right, this is it. Let's do this. But I was like, what games? I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, let me check out this Uncharted game and Assassin's Creed. I'm like, let's check that out. But Ratchet Clank, that's the first one I played. I'm like, I got this first shit I gotta play. Blinks the Time Sweeper. What the fuck?
No, that's Xbox.
Yeah, no, GZDR just threw it in the comment. Like, what the fuck?
I think he knows. Remember how many times I mentioned how much I love Blinks, and I was like, bro, if you want me to get an Xbox, if you want me to get on the Xbox, you need to bring back Blinks. I ain't moving.
And not that whack ass second game.
And I honestly, I say at this point,
was the good one.
I say at this point, just reboot the franchise. Do a Ratchet and Clank 2016 for Blinks and just bring it out. Because the Xbox guys are like, yeah, you make a Ratchet and Clank, but we got Lucky's Tale. I'm like, Lucky's Tale? Are you serious? First of all,
it was on PlayStation.
Yeah, first of all, Lucky's Tale. started
Lucky's
on
Tale, bro.
yeah,
No,
like come on. Lucky's Tale is on everything, and second of all, Lucky's Tale, as far as I heard critically, that game is not all that. So stop. You know, you need your blinks. All right.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
the
stop it
Call up
right
Link.
now.
Get some help.
Get some help.
My
Oh,
Francesca, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
All right, man. Let's move on here. I'm switching all the topics around tonight, man.
Oh, by the way,
What's up?
Switching
somebody asked me about Nintendo financials. I found them.
Oh, you want to do them? What do you want? Or you?
Oh no, Sunday.
Sunday. We'll do on Sunday. We'll do on Sunday.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's fun.
I'm moving this next story up the queue because Chris, you're here. You know, because you've been talking about this for a while that he should have done this. Our boy Bobby Kotick is taking a pay cut, 50% pay cut.
Oh.
So what are your thoughts on that?
Oh my god! Like, dude, why didn't you do this like a long time ago? Like, look, I don't want anybody to get it confused. I'm all about like people make your money, whatever, but at the same time, don't fuck over the people under you. Don't punch down. Don't screw over people to make your money, right? That's what I'm all about. But make your money, right? This guy always to get his to rebalance everything and to make the profit margins higher or to get his stock trigger so he can get his bonus always has mass layoffs. It's like almost every year there's some kind of shedding in Activision or some studio gets shuttered or something so that their profitability goes up, the stock goes up, and then he hits his trigger and he gets his huge bonus. Plus, he has awarded himself multiple raises.
Yeah.
Right?
He gets
That's easy,
happy.
like-
He gets happy. He's like, I did good this week. Another raise.
Right.
Yeah, you know, and it's like, but then in the meantime, then we're always talking about like, you know, they 200 at least 200 people from Activision this month got laid off, or you know, 1,000 people got laid off total in Activision total from multiple studios. It's always said. So he votes himself a 50% cut in his salary. His salary is like something obscene, right? Let me look at this article real fast because I'm pretty sure it's like well over $100 million. So I don't think he's hurting too much. Plus, this last bonus, he got over $200 million as a bonus.
Damn.
Plus, he has his stock options, which are tremendous. If he were to leave right now, if he were to get up and walk out of the room and just say, "Fuck it, I'm cashing out," he'd get so much. He would have an obscene amount of money. So, really, he's not hurting. If this is to like bump up the company, it's like, dude, you could have done this a long time ago. Like other CEOs, I always mention like Bill Ford did this, like Iwata did this, whatever. They would take pay cuts beforehand just so they're like, hey, I don't want to lay anybody off. Or I remember Bill Ford famously said, like in the 90s when Ford was hurting and he cut his salary down to $1. He's like, look, I have stock options, I have money. My kids aren't going to go hungry, whatever, but I don't want to lay anyone off for my bad decisions, right?
Yeah.
It's a huge thing to say for a CEO. Iwata said the same thing. He kept cutting his salary in half every year. On the downgrade of the Wii, he cut his salary in half and said, I don't want employees to hurt because we are not performing. He took responsibility. It's a huge thing. Bobby Kotick doesn't know anything about that, man. You know, nothing. So, I mean, all right, so so his salary is it says here in the IGN article his salary was 1.75 million, so it's cut down to a mere 875,000. Okay, so his salary was 1.75 million. I thought it was higher, but here's the thing, his bonuses are always obscene.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're bringing in 200 million, when you're bringing in almost 200 times your freaking annual salary is a bonus. You could literally take an $8 salary. He could be like, I'll cut my salary down to $8.75. Doesn't matter. His bonus and his options, he's still set, man. So shit, this is a pittance compared to what he makes. Like it's not a pittance to us. Like everybody here is like, wow, I'll take that money. Of course, anyone taking a heartbeat, but to this guy, this is nothing. His parachute. His golden parachute would be in the hundreds of millions of dollars. I guarantee. If he got fired, if the whole board of Activision is like, "You're out of here," he'd still get millions of dollars.
Oh yeah, it's just selling all that EA stock he probably holds. They make a
he's
lot of
got
bank.
some Dogecoin there, Carlos.
Oh,
Yeah.
they got some Dogecoin, hodling and shit. Yo, man, I mean, what is it? A million plus to 800,000. I'm thinking like that. Like he's taking a pay cut, but that shit ain't going to anybody. Like it. What are you gonna save? Like 2 jobs, 3 jobs?
Yeah, that's a good
Exactly.
point.
That's
Yeah.
what I mean. Like if he told the board, approve my bonus and don't even give it to me, put it back into the like I don't know, reinvest it somehow or do a stock buyout or buy back the stock. Let's reinvest in the company so that we can save jobs or push projects going into the next fiscal year. That would be huge if he did that. I mean, cutting his salary in half, that's nothing. I mean, he could cut it down to $1 and it would still be, I'd be like, yeah, here's my little golf clap. I'm not even clapping one finger. I'm like taking the tips of my fingernails together for that one.
Yeah, pretty wild. But it's funny because you mentioned like, hey, this guy should take a pay cut. He did, but it's still nothing. If he like doesn't do anything, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I mean, even in the article, look,
He's not slumming it.
Yeah.
By
$200
any
million
means.
bonus is going to be awarded to him in June.
Damn. For what? Like,
For what? Because Activision's stock in his contract, if their stock hits a certain trigger, he gets a bonus.
yeah,
The board has to approve it. I guarantee they're going to approve it. This is why this is like a platitude. It's like, oh, guys, so I know everybody's hurting here. I'll take a 50% pay cut. Well, good for you.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. It just seems kind of weird.
And it's like he already fired all those people already.
Oh, those
It's like,
guys, yeah, they lost their
oh,
jobs. Blizzard
Yeah.
is a shell
Yeah.
of itself. So,
That shit is wild. But there you go. Bobby Kotick takes a pay cut. All right. And the last story I want to have us talk about tonight is The Last of Us 3. Something interesting. So apparently they already have the script done. Not the script, but like a plot line, outline for the plot. Not working on it or anything. Not working on the game, but they have that ready. And the reason I bring this up, I'm like, that's kind of funny because there's a lot of people out there still begging for the multiplayer for the second game, and they're already talking about the third. Riku, what do you think about The Last of Us 3? Are you excited about that? So it's coming
Hell
eventually.
the fuck no.
Oh,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Am I told my friend that in regards to The Last of Us and Uncharted, I could go this entire generation without either one. If it's not Last of
agree.
Us Part 2 factions, I don't fucking want it. Like Naughty Dog, like either make a new IP, work on that Savage Starlight, because everybody wants you to do something sci-fi related, or go make Jack 4, goddammit. One of the two. Jack 4 or the new IP. I don't want or Last of Us Part 2 factions. I don't want to see fucking Last of Us Part 3 this generation. Like save that shit for launch title of PlayStation 6. I don't want to see that shit hitting the PlayStation 5, And they said as far as I heard, they said they have no plans for The Last of Us Part 3 now. They just have the script, right? Or some shit.
Yeah, they just have the
So-
outline for the script. Yeah.
How about this? You guys sit on that script, do a couple revisions, make sure that shit looking squeaky clean and ready for PlayStation 6.
But
All the shit.
Riku,
Whatever. Go ahead.
What if diverse, dramatic high roading isn't in fashion in 6 years?
Well, guess what? You remember what I said? Continuously revise that script because if it's not the hip thing and a fucking generation is 6 years, right? Placed a fucking 2028. Then I guess you guys do need to fucking revise that script. I mean, but like I said, they said they're working on The Last of Us 1 remake for the HBO shit, right? So
Yeah.
So whatever, apparently if we're getting anything Last of Us related in the future, it's gonna be that, unfortunately. Not no damn Part 3, or unfortunately the multiplayer is looking very bleak right now.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I don't think that remake of the first game's even gonna have multiplayer. I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something unpopular.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, go ahead.
You're gonna say something controversial?
I think it should just stay a show. It's better done as a long form kind of narrative. The interaction in Last of Us doesn't make a huge amount of difference.
Hey, it's
Wait,
their thing.
how's
They
that
did the movie.
controversial? I think we all agree on that.
No, he didn't say.
Oh.
Riku threw that on
No,
there.
no, I was
Yeah.
just a joke. No,
Everything said on
see,
Throwdown's controversial.
Okay,
I know, right?
controversial thing is-
I agree with you, Brett, but you know, Sony, like I said, that Ratchet and Clank 2016 game shouldn't have existed. Sony just was like, hey, can you guys make a video game tie-in to this movie? And they're like, sure. And then they just slapped it together. So they're basically doing the same thing with this HBO shit. So
I'll be
But I
honest.
do agree.
I'm done with The Last of Us. In general, I'm done. Like that whole
I
Walking
enjoyed the
Dead
game,
shit.
but
I'm
it's
done,
like-
man. I'm done.
Like I
Because
said, I
that's
just
what
don't wanna be an
that's what the
amateur.
last game was. It was just an extended episode. of The Walking Dead. I'm done with that shit. I'm good. You know, done with it.
Yeah.
Done with it.
But Naughty Dog, if you're the naughty gods that everyone says that you are,
Is the naughty guys.
the naughty guys, and you guys should be skilled. You guys should be skilled enough to throw out a new IP and it be a banger.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Because right
saying.
now-
We work on a new IP, bro. I'm tired of The Last
Here's-
of Us, man.
Like here's the thing, man. Like you looking at PlayStation's studios right now, and lately, man, you could definitely say a case that Insomniac is better than Naughty Dog.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah,
Without
see,
a
lot of people-
doubt.
A lot of people don't want to have that conversation.
I will.
I'll agree with that.
Let's have that conversation. Insomniac makes like diverse games.
They made
Yeah.
diverse games. Like, okay, let's look at the catalog that Naughty Dog has made that people talk about. You got Jack and Daxter, right? You got Uncharted. You got The Last of Us, right? And yeah, they made a samurai game before Jack and Daxter. What do you mean, like,
We're the warrior, baby.
hey, the warrior baby, like,
Yeah, there you go.
but
They made a fighting
Insomni-
game.
Yeah, Insomniac. What have they made up to that point? So they made Spiral, right? Then they did Ratchet. Then they did.
Oh yeah, you
Resistance.
also forgot Crash.
Let him
by the way.
finish. Oh yeah,
yes,
Crash
yes,
Bandicoot. That's right. Yeah,
sorry,
Crash
yes,
Bandicoot.
Crash,
That's right. That's right.
Correct. Crash.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. So you got Spyro, Ratchet and Clank, Resistance, Sunset Overdrive.
Sunset Overdrive.
That one game that failed that I can't remember the name.
Oh
of.
shit,
the
Fuse.
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 Xbox
Yeah.
games,
Fuse. Yep.
Yeah. Well, no. The Xbox game is Sunset Overdrive. Fuse is that multi-platform
Yeah.
game that nobody.
Oh, it was the first multi-plat they made in a while, right?
Yeah. And then Spider-Man. So what was that? 6 games,
Yeah.
and one of them was a stinker. Fuse.
You know.
Like I would say at this juncture right now, especially with Insomniac coming out with Spider-Man, Miles Morales just a few months ago, and then Ratchet and Clank, a few months in the future. Like
They're not messing around, bro.
they're not PlayStation's like, we just bought you motherfuckers, and we putting you motherfuckers to work, and they are working their asses off over there. Like I'm interested because if you look at the future for that company, like what are they gonna do after Ratchet into Rift Apart is out? You would assume after that is Spider-Man 2, correct?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
After that, what would you think that they would probably do?
Who knows,
Like
man?
Overdrive.
Like I think at that point they probably, I would say they should, like I said, either
Another
come
new
up with
IP,
that
let's
Ratchet and
go.
Clank collection. Like I said, either come up with that Ratchet and Clank collection or maybe a new IP.
Yeah, new IP
To
would
be
be
honest
great.
with you, in my opinion, because a lot of people are like, I don't think Naughty Dog can make another Jack. I would honestly put Insomniac on Jack. Give it to them.
Now,
Because
that's a controversial statement.
Yeah, they know what they're doing with
That is-
platforming games with guns and gadgets. Give them Jack. Make them take over the Jack franchise. That's what I would make them do after Spider-Man 2 is out. But that's just me.
Yeah. Be interesting.
The whole the redundancy between, and I love these games, but the redundancy between Uncharted and Last of Us is
Yeah.
crazy. Like they're all well made games, but they're kind of
The
one
same.
and the same, just different stories.
Yeah. Yeah, like the mechanics they're the same, man. Let's be real
Especially with Last of Us Part 2. Last of Us Part 2 definitely made the characters, like gameplay wise, feel more flexible than they did in the
Yeah.
previous game.
Yeah.
So it brought it closer to the gameplay that is Uncharted, because Uncharted is the characters are very flexible in regards to jumping and climbing and all that shit.
Right.
They're nimble. Yeah.
Yeah.
More articulation.
here. Right. All right. So that's that. So let's get into games we've been playing lately. So Riku, get in here first, man. What have you been playing lately, sir?
I know what you've been
So-
playing.
Yeah.
Playing that Returnal, baby.
Uh-oh.
I've been man. But before we talk about it, Returnal, because me and Tony, we're gonna talk about some Returnal in here in a second.
You know,
Before I got my hands on this early copy of Returnal, I was getting super deep into some Near Replicant, man. I'm fairly enjoying this game. It's the first one in the franchise that I'm playing, and I'm liking it a lot. I'm glad this is the first one that I'm messing around with, with Platinum Games coming in and rebooting the gameplay and whatnot. I'm loving the music. I like the characters so far. They're a very weird bunch they are, and I'm playing on hard mode. That's pretty challenging. I'm enjoying my time with it. I don't know how far you're probably a bit farther than me, Manny. Did you play the original one, the PS3 version?
No, I actually never bothered to do it because I was like, oh man, game controls like shit. So yeah, I didn't bother with it. So I just literally watched as much shit about it as I could. So I know all the story, I know all the beats. Okay. But the one thing there's a bunch of new stuff that's in the game. But I'm not actually that far.
Okay. So
I'm still a kid.
Okay. So I'm a couple hours into the time skip. So okay, I'm a little bit further than you. I'm enjoying that game a lot. But yeah, they're saying that my friend was telling me that Platinum is looking mighty annoying. He was saying there's some stuff in there.
Oh yeah, the way to do this, like, well, even with the original one, it's kind of an annoying Platinum because there's a farming mini game where you gotta make all these certain flowers. You have to catch a bunch of the fish, which are all in different things. Near Automata has this very similar thing, but the one catch between this game and the other game is that when you get through I think the third playthrough or something like that, the trophy store opens. So you literally can use your in-game money. If you don't save, you just use your in-game money and just buy all the trophies and then reload your save and then buy the rest. So you could literally just take all the challenge out of the game if you wanted to.
I heard Yoko Taro, the reason he did it is because he said he's not a fan of trophies. And he was like, fuck this shit. If you guys want to unlock all these motherfuckers with your in-game currency, go ahead and do it. But I don't think that's in this game, as far as I heard.
No, it doesn't. They so far they haven't said, but they kept all the trophies intact, and it's a little bit of a slog, especially when you. Oh well, no, I'm not gonna tell you what's going on.
Yeah, don't spoil it.
I mean, I'm just more interested to find out more about the story, because if there's one thing I've been hearing a lot of people jack off this game in particular is the story. They're like, man, you get through ending A and then you really don't know shit, and then you get through ending B and then you still kind of don't know shit. You get through ending C and then shit starts blowing up. Like, okay.
Well, that's the thing about the game, where it's like, so far it's sort of the first playthrough is like the straightforward playthrough. Hey, you're trying to get your sister back, and but then you get a little bit more insight into the bad guys in the second playthrough. So you get to because you can't now you realize you cannot understand anything those creatures are saying. In the second playthrough, you understand what they're saying, so you're like, oh shit. That's what you're saying. So I'm very engrossed. Additional development.
Yeah,
and even on the third here's the thing, like, when on the subsequent playthroughs you don't actually need to go through kid Nier anymore. You get skipped over to adult Nier, and you just begin from that point on.
Yeah, and I decided, like, once I'm done with this game, I was gonna hop straight into Automata, because I still haven't played Automata.
Automata's a good one.
So Manny, I have a question.
Hmm?
Would you say, how would you compare Automata to this one, to Replicant? Because this one isn't a Platinum game.
No, it's not. What they did is, like, here's the thing, like, they really, because they got one of the Platinum guys to sort of revamp the fighting in the game. Automata is still a Platinum game, so it's super easy to get into. Now, this one it takes a little bit more finessing to get it right, but it's a lot more. They did a lot of nice quality of life things, like now that your character runs, can run way faster than they used to. The dodging is also a lot more forgiving in it. The dodging and countering is a lot more forgiving in it. And they have a couple of additional things that they added to it, so it's it's a lot more fun than it was originally.
I would say,
and that was the biggest hurdle for the original game. The controls in the game were just atrocious.
yeah, I would say, as someone who hasn't played the original and just coming into this game from a gameplay standpoint and being someone that has played a decent amount of Platinum games prior to this, if you like games that are that have the gameplay of Platinum games, I think you would be right at home when it comes to this one.
It feels like it's weird in a weird sort of way. It feels like a little bit of an evolution to Platinum games, which is kind of funny. You know what I mean? Like, whereas the Near Replicant doesn't have a lot of comboing and all that. It has combos, but you have the same sort of combos that you can do over and over again. They don't really have a lot of variation like in Automata, where you have a lot more different crazy moves that you can do. And I think that's so it just sort of feels like an evolution. The way they sort of made it feel like more like an evolution to Automata as opposed to just like a janky thing than Automata.
Yeah, because I've been thinking about getting it, but I'm kind of just worried that I'll just be disappointed because I love Automata a lot. So
it's a good one. The thing about it, that was the big saving grace of the game, and that's always been the saving grace of Yoko Taro games. Is actually the plots of the stories and the plots of his games that are the things that got people to come to it. It wasn't exactly the gameplay.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I have something controversial to say.
Uh-oh.
Yo, Carlos, no replicant till you finish your Demon Souls.
Oh! Yo, man.
Finish your vegetables, sir.
We got one world to go and one boss.
That's right.
So we'll do it this weekend if you got time.
Yeah, man.
Oh man.
Hey, by the way, so since we're talking, I'll go next because I haven't played anything. What do you guys think about? Because I mentioned this, and Tony and I have been playing. I mean, like, was it last year now or 2 years ago? I don't even know. Halo. Would you guys be down? I don't know who.
Oh yeah, we had to play Halo 3, man.
To beat Halo 3, 4, and then 5, and then be ready for Infinite when it comes out. Oh, it would be interesting.
I would do it.
I beat Halo 3 on Legendary. And the on release day, me and some buddies, we did that. We just played all the way through the night.
Nice.
We did a midnight launch. Got home, played it.
So is that a no or?
I'd be down.
All right.
Would do it.
Yeah, let's do that. Get through the Halo series before Infinite.
Well, we can't play Halo. This is a Sony show.
No. What are you talking about? Those fucking Xbox.
I'm joking.
Yeah. No. Remember
making fun of the Xbox.
Yeah. No. Remember the Sony guys. They hate me now. They think I'm an Xbox.
Oh, it's the Sony guys that hate you now.
Yeah.
It changes from week to week.
It really does.
So I have a question.
Matter of fact,
hold
on. Oh, there we go. Now we're good.
Oh.
Fucking great.
Why is it?
There we go.
So Tony.
Yeah. No, wrong one. What's up? Xbox.
Which fanboys call you fake neutral? Who or is it one?
Oh, I haven't. I personally have not been called a fake neutral.
Oh, okay. Because I saw you posted on Twitter, so I thought someone was like making fun.
No. Because I'm obsessed with the term. Because this is what I thought a fake neutral was, right? Someone that like claims to have or somebody that has all the consoles, but they have a preference for one, right? That's what I thought a fake neutral was. Apparently, a fake neutral is someone that, for example, buys a PlayStation to shit on the PlayStation. So I've come to the conclusion that fake neutrals that's a straw man. That they don't exist. They're made up purely to have an enemy to fight. That's what I think a fake neutral actually is. Because like these guys, here's the thing with console war shit, they need an enemy, right? So they need to make some shit up. So that's what a fake neutral is. That's what I've come to the conclusion. Fake neutrals do not fucking exist. Fake neutrals are fake. That's the conclusion I've come to. They don't exist.
Because I actually do know some people that do that.
Really?
I would
Who?
say, yeah.
Name them.
Some of my crazy friends, bro.
So wait, hold on, Rico, hold on, because I'm very fascinated by this. And I'm derailing show, but I don't give a fuck. So you know guys that, for example, will buy a console for the express purpose of shitting on the console, so they make the other one look better. You're telling me you know people like this?
Yeah, they would literally if you say you don't, you're not a fan of PlayStation, that's when they pull out their PlayStation and be like, yeah, see, I got a PlayStation. You can't say I'm not a fan of PlayStation, but this thing sucks. I haven't turned it on. It just collects dust here.
Yeah.
They'll use it to just say that they have it and that it sits there and collects dust and they haven't played it and it's not worth having, yet they have it.
But you're telling me they specifically bought it. They spent $500 just so they could say that.
Yeah.
That's wild, bro. That's fucking wild.
It's fucking insane. But you know what I think happened to you, Tony? I think it's the fact that the people that I know that exist, and it's fucking wild that they do exist. When they see anyone out there that says anything that in their opinion is similar to these fucking unicorns out here, they want to call you that too.
Yeah.
So obviously you aren't one of those people, and they're hard to find, but I know them.
That's why, because I was under the impression I was like, because I don't know anybody like that. That makes no. Think about there's no logic behind that. That's stupid. You're spending $500 on a console to shit on it for a console war. That's stupid.
There's people that just have to have the new consoles. They
no, but it's not. But it's not that.
1 hour and 21 minutes.
Gotta have it. Gotta have some. No, but Adam, no, it's not that though. They're buying it, so I go. I hate Microsoft. I'm gonna buy an Xbox to shit on the Xbox.
Why you used to buy Jabro jeans? It's the same shit. It's like people just buy it to brag that they have it.
No, but it's not bragging though. They buy it to shit on it. It's not about bragging.
Yeah, it's not whales. It's not like the tech guys, the techies that need the thing day one. Doesn't matter what it is, they need it day one.
See, Adam, what you're trying to do is you're trying to put logic to it. There is no logic to this. Understand? You're trying to make it logical. It's not. They're not buying this. I go, hey, I have an Xbox. No, they're buying it like I bought an Xbox and it fucking sucks.
But then that means that they have to be doing all these little tweets or showing images why they're shitting on it all the time. They're spending more energy shitting on it.
Yes, that's the point. These guys, they spend more time on Twitter bitching about games than they actually do playing games. It's crazy.
Yo, what's up?
Yo, fuck you. Don't be subtweeting me.
Oh. Uh-oh. No, he was subtweeting Torrance, bro.
I sent him that tweet that Torrance, because Torrance was pissed off, man. I was like, yo, I know some people out here that call themselves the gaming connoisseurs, and they just go around, they just go and play a little game here, play a little game there, to give it themselves a fancy little name, a little fancy little title, so that they don't have to finish fucking shit.
Oh, I'm a gaming connoisseur.
Fuck you, motherfucker.
When Torrance came in there, he goes, remember, I don't know if this was years ago when he gave Gary this like long speech about, extolling the virtues of being a gaming connoisseur. Like, Gary, when you get to my level, when you become a true gaming connoisseur, you will see that the entire world opens up to you. You're no longer relegated to finishing games. You only sample what you want and you move on. That is the definition of a gaming connoisseur. Like, he just went on and on and on. And we're like, Torrance, shut the fuck up. It's because you can't be games, motherfucker.
Because that's the kind of a comparison analogy that I've been hearing a lot of people in the console wars say now, is that the PlayStation exclusives are like a nice, exquisite freaking restaurant expensive meal that you pay for, and Xbox Game Pass is like an all-you-can-eat buffet, but the stuff isn't as good. And they're like, well, I mean, sometimes you go to an all-you-can-eat buffet and there's a few things that are good, and you don't necessarily finish everything on your plate. You just kind of just eat a little bit of this, eat a little bit of that. But guess what? We have all of this shit to choose from. It's like a food eating connoisseur, It's like,
interesting.
So now they're trying to use that same logic with this thing, the gaming connoisseurs out here. Just play 15 minutes of that, play 15 minutes of this. I got all of this stuff here. Who cares, right?
I call them nibblers,
Nibblers.
Gaming nibblers, you know what I'm saying? Why? Or samplers,
Samplers. You check their trophies, they got 1% and everything.
My thing is like, listen, you do what you want, I don't give a fuck. I can't do that. That's not the way I'm
gonna say you do what you want, I don't give a fuck. But if we're trying to have a conversation about a specific game, your ass need to shut up. Because you can't tell me anything about the game after chapter 1 or even before chapter 1.
Yeah.
Because you still stuck in the tutorial, huh?
And me, I frown upon guys that just watch fucking streams and shit. Those guys have more credibility. because they've at least seen the game. Let's just be real here.
Yeah, they'll be able to at least tell you about the story. They can't talk about gameplay.
They can't talk about
They can
gameplay.
tell you about the story at the very least.
I've played 15 minutes. Oh, like come on, bro.
Tell me about it. That's why I quit the industry.
That's why I can't do this. I've been watching Mass Effect. Oh God.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Anyway, Rico, we can talk about Returnal now. Fuck it. Returnal.
Returnal.
Yeah. So I finally beat that fucking boss. And it's funny because
Biome what?
Biome two.
Biome 2. Okay.
And it's funny
so
because
the one in the sky, right?
No, he's not in. Yeah, because you got to go all the way up. Yeah. So, and it's kind of funny because I was like, yo, like, am I trash? Like, what's going on? Come to find out, like, half the guys that reviewed this game, they couldn't get past them either. Like,
I'll tell you what. Okay.
So it wasn't just me. But here's the funny thing, though. So it took me 5 days to beat this motherfucker, right? And I got to the third boss in 2 hours. He killed me because I had, like, no health left. But because the thing is, and I didn't talk about this in my preview because I just based it off of what I played, but I had the review process fucked me up with this thing, right? Because the review process is rush through a game as fast as possible, right? So when I unlocked all the shortcuts to the boss, I just used them all to get to the boss, whatever equipment I had on me, right? Then I was like, let me try a different tactic. Let me go through the entire first level, go through every single door, right? Get myself beefed up. Yo, I go to the final boss. And this is because the RNG was actually good because this is on my third attempt because I did this 2 times and I had shitty equipment because that's just the way the game is. I got there the third time. My gun ate his fucking health. I killed him in like 10 minutes. I was like, whoa. And here's the funny thing. It was vindicating too because I went there with an astronaut. The astronauts bring you back to life. And I had a leech on me that also would bring you back to life. Never had to use them. I killed them like just regularly, But that's also one of the problems of the game. Your skill matters only to an extent because it doesn't matter how skillful you are. If you roll through a bad run with bad shitty equipment, you can't. Jeff Grubb is getting shit about this. He's like, oh, I feel like I wasted my time. Like, it is a waste of time. If you spend 2 hours going through this entire world and getting shitty like equipment,
drops and whatnot.
That's it.
That was me earlier.
You
I was like, yesterday I had a very good run. I had a shit ton of stuff, and then the update came out, and I was like, oh well, I'm still kind of in Biome 1. Let me just go ahead and restart the cycle. And I said, let me just restart the cycle and throw in the 10 gig update because that one I assume that one is more stable than this one. I would hate to continue in this run and then the game crash because
it's pretty stable before that though. Because I've been playing for a week before that. It was really, this game no bugs or nothing. It was crisp and clean.
It had supposedly it had this thing whenever it was like a weird slowdown. Whenever you pull up the pause menu and then pull it back, it would like sort of freeze for a little bit.
No, he's right about that. But no, my friend Boogie, he said he was 60% of the way through the game. He was beasting it and it crashed on him.
Oh shit!
And then my other friend, he was almost done with the game and his power turned off. So I was just like, you know what? I don't want, since I'm still on Biome 1, like I said, and I need that update anyway. Let me just go on ahead, restart the cycle, get the 10 gig update, and then start again. And then every session that I've had after that update have all been shit runs. Like I didn't get. I think my first session I ran through the entire thing. I couldn't find one weapon to replace my pistol with.
Jesus.
And then my second one, I found a shotgun, and I think I went into one of those doors that just had waves of fucking enemies coming at me, and I there. And then my third run, I think I found a carbine at the very end, but I didn't have enough health to no more health was anywhere in the world, so I kind of, died before I could even get to the boss. I was like, man, I just been having shitty runs.
Yeah, and that's all a waste of time. If you think about it, you wasted all those hours. So that's why people are like, oh, you got to get good. It's like, it's not about getting good, bro. It's like, it's really half of the game is about just getting fucking lucky,
Yeah, and then the I definitely do think that this is harder than the alpha that I played.
Oh,
because
really?
In the alpha, I think I only died twice, and I made it to Biome 3.
Wow.
Yeah, I only died twice, and I was like, okay, I understand this game, and I breezed through. I think in biome 2, I didn't die once in there. I went straight to biome 3.
Go ahead, Brett.
Is there anything that you carry over with you after you die? Like, is there anything that
Some stuff
transfers?
Yeah, there's particularly every time you beat a boss, whatever you get off the boss, you keep that all automatically. And one cool thing is, if you find a new weapon type, when you go back and die again, that weapon type will start appearing randomly in the world again, or to begin with. But other than that, like for example, like if you get like oh, you got your suit to 200% like health or whatever, you die right back to the beginning. All that shit's gone, And you do unlock some shortcuts.
For a roguelike.
What happened?
So it seems like a small amount of carryover for a roguelike.
Yeah, it's not a lot. Not a lot carries over. It's just with the equipment you get from bosses. And I think the teleportation thing, that you don't get that from a boss, but that carries over. But other than that, that's it. That's all you get. Like right now, I carry over a teleporter, and you can only use it at specific plates. A slingshot, not a slingshot, like a grappling hook, and that's about it.
Yeah,
a lot of the other things are consumable, like things that just disappear as soon as you reset.
Yeah, but again, if you do find a new gun type, that gun type will even appear in the first biome, after that, which is cool. But I'm
looking forward to corpse dragging my way through this game.
But it's not about corpse dragging. There is no corpse dragging in this. It is about just getting lucky.
Yeah. Crazy. I mean, I have mixed feelings about that. Like, you can't just straight up waste a player's time. Most roguelikes have like a small thing, so even if you're going on a run where you die, you're still grinding towards something greater.
You're not in this one,
And there's also there is the thing about it is that there is a set pattern to everything within the game. Like all the biomes do sort of repeat themselves. Like you can recognize what the biomes are, the sections are. It's like, oh wait, this is that room now. It's in here now.
But the problem is every time they are the worlds or the sections are the same, but the enemy placement and the items are always different. So you may get some shitty items or get some brutal enemies right off the jump. Roll. Yeah. So go ahead, Brett. What are you saying? Go ahead, man. You go first. Go ahead.
Also, the other thing, what was it? There was another thing about it that they had said. Oh yeah, there's also it's in a way it's a lot like a shoot 'em up or something like that, where there's set patterns to even the bosses.
Oh, the bosses are totally pattern based. Yeah, they are. But that doesn't really help you much if you come in there with a shitty little gun, because the game wouldn't give you anything good, So yeah, Brett, this game is not generous with the shit it gives you, man.
Well, he's right about that, man.
Yeah. It is not. So that's why I'm like, it took me 20 fucking hours to beat that boss. Because I was trying to corpse drag my way to it. You can't do that in this game at all.
So you just give up on a bad run?
Yeah.
And then just cycle through it as fast as possible?
And no, you can't. The thing is, you can't do it as fast as possible because you're gonna fucking lose. You have no choice but to go all through that shit again. And hope you get better shit. That's what I think. I would have gotten to that boss faster had I learned like Tony. Instead of just trying to just use all the shortcuts, you have to go through the 2 hours or whatever to get to the final boss and hope you get good shit. So yeah, if this is a game that does not value your time. Tonight I was like, hey, let me play a little bit before throw it. I'm like, I'm not gonna have enough time. 2 hours. I'm like, I'm not gonna have enough time. And even that probably would have ended in failure too.
Man, making it sound like you don't. You've changed your opinion on the game a little bit.
No, here's the thing. I haven't changed my opinion on the game at all. The review I wrote was objective, right? I'm like, if you like this type of game, you're gonna love it. Me, I'm never playing a roguelike ever again. Like this shit, I'm like, no, I'm not doing this to myself again. This is ridiculous. It doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, my thing is, I don't like games that don't respect my time. I need to be working for something. I need to know when I finish a run or whatever, I have done something that made me better than I was before. This game isn't like that. Unless you beat a boss, then you're obviously better off. But just getting to that boss, again, you may not get lucky. But some people like that shit. That's fine. Me personally, I don't want to deal with that shit. I respect my fucking time. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, Riku.
Yeah, Returnal is, man, it's a stressful fucking game, bro.
Yes, it is. You know.
It's stressful. I've
kids,
only
I don't
played,
need that shit.
No, you're good.
and you don't play Souls games, do you, Adam?
No.
Oh yeah, definitely stay away from
Souls
this shit.
games are fucking easy compared to this because at least you make progress, right? Oh, that boss is fucking me up. Okay, just grind a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Grind, get stronger, right? And all that shit sticks with you. You know, you buy those upgrades, you're good. They stick with you forever.
Well,
The only thing you
also,
lose in a Souls game is your currency.
Yep.
yeah, and also in the Souls games, everybody's in the same place. So just like old Castlevania,
Yeah.
I didn't make it past the spike pit because this guy was standing here. So let me rethink my strategy before I leap over there and try to fight him, right? Or I'll use a sub weapon. Souls has the same philosophy, but with the roguelike, that's all out the window. If you randomize everything, you can't go, oh, if I head this way, I'll find this, and that, and this guy is standing there. No, that's all out the window.
Yeah, and I've said this on the show before. Anytime there's random elements in a game, I never do well. I need to have a fixed world, fixed things that I could survive, even if it's hard as fuck, like a Souls game. Like, yes, it's brutal, but I get the same thing every time, and I could prepare for it. Right? This thing, ain't no preparing. Good fucking luck. That's pretty much it. You know. It's crazy, but I'm very curious to see what the general audience is going to think of this game because there's a lot of guys out there that think this is the next Souls game, that think this is the next Last of Us, that think this is the next Uncharted. They think it's one of these type of games, right? You know, big AAA games. Like, no, this is an indie game in AAA clothing. Let's just be real here, you know? And I don't think they're ready for that brutal difficulty, man. I really don't think so, you know? You have professional motherfuckers out there. Obviously, there's some shitty journalists out there. We have professional motherfuckers like me who've been playing games for 30 years, can't get past the second boss for 5 days, man. You know, so I want to see what regular dudes who don't have that kind of patience are going to think, you know? It's going to be very interesting. But, yeah.
I'm surprised by how high the ratings for the game are.
Because it's a good game for what it does, though. You know, again, being objective, is a very good game for what it does. You know, but it's not for everybody.
If there's one thing in the feedback that I tried to tell them to add when it came to this game was shoulder swap, and it doesn't seem like shoulder swap is still in this game, so it kind of irks me a bit.
Interesting. You know, I don't use L2 in this game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I realized, like, every gun locks on. As long as you have the reticle close to the enemy, it locks on every single weapon. So I'm like, okay, why am I going to hold L2 to slow myself down when I could just shoot? You know, so I stopped using L2.
L2?
I mean, you know, unless it's like to the altar and fire, I don't use it at all. I don't bother with it. There's no point. All the guns lock on, you know?
Oh, to shoot from the hip and whatnot.
Yeah, all the guns. Yeah, all the guns.
You see the bullets, literally like arc.
Yeah, they
whatever
arc.
The thing is pointing at.
Yeah, so getting headshots.
Not all of the bullets.
All of the guns I use do. You know, like my carbine and shit, and my favorite, a Hollow Seeker, right to them. You know, even the shitty little pistol goes right. They all home in. You know. So I'm like, why am I doing L2? It's just slowing me down. You know.
Understandable.
But again, I'm very curious to see. I want to see how many of these dudes that have been really hyped for it beat it, you know? Because Cuphead is easier than this fucking game, you know? Because again, Cuphead, you could prepare. Every run's the same, no matter what, you know?
Interesting.
Yeah. All right, Adam. Rico, any other games you want to talk about?
I'll be juggling this in Nier because when this game gets me fucking pissed off, I'm gonna just go and play Nier again.
Yeah.
So I'll be juggling those two.
All right, Adam, what you got?
Been playing Horizon Chase Turbo on the Switch. I love that racer. It's one of the best ones there besides Burnout Paradise.
Love it. It's like Top Gear, right?
Yeah. It's got that with that outrun feel, and it's just the music, the artwork, the track design. It just keeps you coming back. I just love it. It's one of those when I'm not sure what to do, and I got some free time, not that much free time. Boot it up, boom. Love it. And you played it, Chris?
Yeah, I played it on PS4. It's good. Yeah. I like it.
Oh yeah, it's so good. And then on the PS5 playing Judgment.
Oh shit, Judgment, let's go.
World. Yeah, so it's cool. It's cool. I mean, it's beautiful. It looks great, but sort of remember the last one looked good too. I mean, that's the other thing. It's like these games are always well made. The landscape, just the world building with all the lights in these Japanese towns, they all look beautiful. So yeah, I'm playing through it. So far, no issues. Looks great. The load time is the one noticeable, but that's almost on every game that's on the PS5 because of SSD. So yeah, doing that, and that's it. Those are the two that I've been playing. And then I sort of booted up a BioShock 1 remaster on the Switch.
Sort of.
Just to see, because remember I sent you a text. It was on sale for like $4 or $5 or something like that. I was like, wow, this is really cheap. I was like, you know what, why not? I want to see how this game runs on the Switch. You know, and yeah, I usually play it in docked mode, and I played it. It was all right. I mean, you know, it's whatever. It is what it is.
All right.
That's it.
Manny, you could tell us more about Nier.
I mean, yeah, just been playing. You know, when I get the chance, been playing Nier. I've been sort of dealing with a alternate bullshit with Nier though. So I actually pre-ordered the game. I think I might have talked about this on when I was playing the game live when it came out. So I pre-ordered the game, and Square Enix made an announcement on the 2nd or the 7th about every single version of the game coming with a downloadable content or additional pre-order bonuses, right? Yeah. So for PlayStation, you get icons, you get a dynamic theme, you get a little bit of the soundtrack, fun stuff. So I go and buy the I already had it pre-ordered, so I go to the thing, and then I got the game home, and I realized, oh wait, where's the code? It's not on the receipt like usual GameStop stuff is on, or if it's not even in the game. So I've just been going through this whole bullshit process trying to find out what if I can get the damn thing, number one. Number two, like what form was it supposed to come in? Was it supposed to be in the game? Was it supposed to be on the thing? It's just been a bunch of running around, just trying to figure out, get the right information as to what it is. It's just like I waited on Square Enix's what do they call it? Their customer service line for an hour.
Shit.
Just to find out that they're just saying, "Oh, just call up your GameStop." I'm like, the guy at the GameStop doesn't know about this shit.
He sold a bunch. I mean, they've sold a few of those, right? At GameStop, they would know. You're not the only one.
The problem is, it's like, yeah, when I talked to the guy about it, when I noticed it, he's like, "Oh, yeah, I had no idea that there was a thing for it." And then, like, I called up the GameStop, whatever they call the customer service line. They were horrible. They couldn't even pull up my information. And then the lady, like, I think she didn't even understand what I was talking about, because she started talking about some other bullshit that I wasn't even asking about. So I just said, it's okay. I'm gonna go now. she just seemed utterly inept.
What's that video game?
So finally, I got the guys to the guy, the one of the managers to call up their customer service, well, not customer service, their QA line, where they have a special line that they call. And finally, that guy got through and said, told them the problem, that I didn't get the code on my receipt or inside of my game. And they're like, all right, we'll send you a new one via email. I'm still waiting for that email, so I have to go back again and be like, what the fuck? I'm like, all this for a fucking pre-order bonus, and nobody can give me any sort of fucking information about it, other than the fucking news blurb that Square Enix left on, saying about it. And then again, I'm not the only one that's having it. People who ordered it on Amazon have the same issue. GameStop, fucking Best Buy. Everybody who's having some sort of issues with these fucking
crazy
codes, and those assholes at Square Enix are not even answering a goddamn thing. Like, hey, you know what? We're gonna look into this or whatever. We understand there's a whole fucking Reddit thread about this shit.
So it's not just a GameStop issue. This is just
it's an issue with either Square Enix or within GameStop. Somebody fucked up and nobody wants to address it. And it's like pulling teeth to just try to get to somebody who actually knows something and doesn't want to just get you off the line, or is just reading the fucking manual that they have sitting in front of them, where they have those canned expressions that need to
Manny, remember I had an issue like this once before. Oh, here we go.
Hey, gather around.
Here we go. This is related. So I got WWE All Stars, right? And I went down on Steinway. If you remember, on Steinway Street, there was 2 GameStops.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But there was 2 of them. So I went to the first one. And I said, yeah, I want to.
That's a street from each
Yeah,
other.
exactly. So this was on the left side street. So I go in there. I was like, yeah, I want to get this game. They're like, oh, we only have one. It's the display one. You know, the one that they have running.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I guess. I mean, I don't give a shit. They're like, don't worry, it's always in the case. We'll play whatever. I load the game onto the drive anyway. I don't care. Right? So he's like, all right, cool. But what always pissed me off is that they charge you full price. This shit's open.
Yeah.
It's used. It's technically used. But whatever. I took it. I went home. I even took off that day just so I can play this shit. I was like, this is it.
Which
I
one?
want
What game
it.
now?
It was WWE All Stars.
Okay.
It was like the
Riku loves like touch real
right?
quick.
He's like, whatever, right? He just went, so anyway,
Yeah, whatever.
so I get home, right? And the same type of thing with the codes. And there was like a download code to get some characters or whatever. So, I open it up and then I enter the code. It says the code was used already. And I'm like, what the fuck? What did you? So then I go back to the store, and then I tell the managers, hey, remember I just came? He's like, yeah. I was like, well, the code was used. Like, I don't know how that's possible. I'm like, well, it's open. He was like, yeah, but we put that in the case. I'm like, yeah, but still, it's open. So anybody could have just took a picture with their phone and then entered it in theirs. I mean, it's like, oh, no, we wouldn't do that. I'm like, well, somebody did it. Because I can't do this. Well, how do I know?
My code doesn't work.
Why am I going to try to? I just came back like fucking 20 minutes ago. I was like, there's no point for me to go through this shit. And he was like, oh, why are you making such a big deal about this? I'm like, what? Why am I making a big deal? This is what was included. This is content. It's part of the package. Bad enough I'm paying a full price for a game that's fucking been open for who knows how long. And he's like, oh, well, hold on, let me call. And he called the other store that was up the block and that they had it. And they're like, all right, well, they said that they can generate a code. Right, so just go over there. I was like, yeah, fuck you. I'm never coming back here. And sure enough, that's the one that went out of business.
Yeah, because that was the asshole one.
Yeah, that was the asshole one.
So, so far, for me, the GameStop employees were actually pretty cool about it. It's just everything that they having to go through their get through GameStop's customer service is utter monotony. And they literally told me, hey, call up the customer service line, which was a bunch of bullshit, and then call up fucking Screenix, and who didn't even want to talk to me. You just did, all right, go away. And then I actually did the other way. I did it. I also contacted customer service on the digital your chat customer service.
Yeah.
And here's the fucking weird thing. You get there's differing information for depending on what person you ask. So this guy says, on the online thing, he's like, oh yeah, I've done the check and there doesn't seem to be any sort of pre-order bonus for this or any sort of promotion. So I don't know what you're talking about. But yet, and all those guys at the GameStop store called up their QA line, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that thing." I could even hear the guy. He's like, "Oh yeah, you mean the icons, the friggin' the dynamic theme and the thing." He's like, he didn't get any of those codes, and I'm like, and he's like, yes, none of it was in the packaging or on the receipt.
Wow.
That's the first thing you got to do, fucking GameStop. Yeah, we gave you all that motherfucking money, so now get to shit together and get some people who fucking know something over there. I'm pointing at you, GameStop.
Then was it the Petco or something like that? One of the pet stores? No, Chewy didn't they buy GameStop recently? That was a whole big thing. Chewy bought it.
Chewy bought it?
I think the CEO from Chewy or somebody went over to GameStop. I think.
Oh, yeah, great.
Yeah,
and by the way, Adam, like Kristen and another guy I know who worked at GameStop.
Barry Burton.
Tell you, yeah, Barry Burton worked there. They could tell you that what that guy told you was bullshit. They take those display copies and take them home and play them. So one of them used it.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised because when I did work this off for Cetra, did the same thing, but that was early on before there was anything about codes. That's why I was like, oh yeah, it's used or whatever. I get it, but I really wanted to play this fucking game. And I just being lazy because if anything, I should have just walked up the block. Went to the other one. Once they said they had this one only for display, I could have just went to the other one. But no, I was like, it's no biggie.
I have the same story. When I went after Manny got, what was it? I was trying to get the MGS2 special edition. I went to the 34th Street GameStop, right?
Oh,
and they didn't give me anything. The book, the documents, nothing. They were like, oh no, we don't have that. I'm like, what are you talking about? I pre-ordered the special edition. This shit's supposed to come with the documents, supposed to come with a book. They didn't give me nothing. They didn't give me any of that. I was
Jimmy
so
that works
pissed
in the
off.
back took that shit home. That's why.
Yeah,
He's
they
like,
took
I
it
don't want
home.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Is
Yo,
that still
and
there?
Fuck
Is that one
Jimmy.
still there?
That's why I told you don't even bother with that 34th Street one. Go to the one on 71st
I'll
Street. They
never.
always
Yeah,
took care of you.
yeah. I never went back there. I never went
Is
back
that
there.
still there? Because that was their flagship. Because it's 2 floors.
No. Oh, wait, no, that one is the
34th?
34th.
Yeah, that's
71st
still there.
Street,
That's
ironically,
gone.
is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gone.
But the 34th
Wait,
one is still there.
the 2-floor one is gone?
No.
No,
34th Street is
is
fine.
there.
Yeah, the one in
Still there.
Herald Square is still there. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
The one
there was
on
that one,
the
and that
one
was
on
across the
the one-
street at Manhattan Mall.
Yeah, there was two. There was one across, they closed the small one that was in the Manhattan Mall. But there was a point where you used to. I would never tell you to, if anybody, I would never tell anybody to go to that main 34th Street one. Go to the one in the Manhattan Mall because they were the ones that they always seemed a bit better than the other ones where they're trying to get rid of you.
The only time I went to that 34th Street one, and it's because I guess they always wanted to make it look like it was full, it had a huge stock of like used games. It was always a shitload of used games. So if there was ever something used I was looking for, it was a good chance it was there. Because that whole downstairs floor, the whole wall, just a massive wall, just used games. So I always found it, but that was the only time I bought anything there.
Yeah. All right, Brett, what have you been playing lately?
I've just been playing Fallout 76.
Oh, back at it.
Oh, what's that patch? I heard it turns it into regular Fallout. Is that true?
I thought that was a while ago, man. That was the Wastelanders patch where they added all the NPCs and everything like that. Whole new quest line. Makes it feel like a regular Fallout game. Morgan and I were just having this conversation about how it actually might feel more like a Fallout game than Fallout 4 did.
Wow.
But yeah, they actually just introduced another new patch on top of that, the Locked and Loaded patch, which allows you to have like several camps, different special loadout, just a bunch of quality of life stuff. So it's pretty dope, man, and I like how it keeps building on itself, and it just keeps giving you free shit.
Good
which
stuff.
is nice. And they have a season that's basically this it's like a board game, and by completing certain events and doing certain things, it ups a very a separate level meter that goes up, and whenever you level, you get to move forward a space on the game board.
Cool. All right, is that it? That's been your main game?
I mean, I have Returnal. I mean, we need to fucking wrap this up so I can get to that.
Oh, you actually got it. I definitely want to hear your thoughts. Because I think if any game gets Brett angry, I think this may be it.
Either that, or we'll have the opposite effect. It's like, dude, this game is amazing.
Yeah, right. Oh my god.
I probably will rage.
Yeah.
Was it Disco Madness or what something
Disco Elysium?
Disco
Elysium. That is they said that was going to be the plus game for next month.
Oh, really?
That's the one you were talking about to get, right? That it's like a
it's
LA Noir or something like.
Yeah, it's kind of a noir game. It really doesn't have much combat in it, even other than like basic skill checks and everything. It's about mystery.
I'll be able to play it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's next Tuesday.
Cool.
Fuck yeah.
Right, Chris.
Well, I finally stopped my quest to Platinum Dark Souls 3 because it requires way too much multiplayer.
Uh-oh.
Like, I literally was waiting for 10 matches as a Blade of the Dark Moon, and I got one. And I was like, I waited for hours, and I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. This requires way too much waiting on people, so fuck it. So then I was like, oh, what else could I try out? And I reinstalled God of War, so I'm going to platinum that. And then I will wait patiently because I think every day I've fired up the Village demo, waiting for that clock to tick down. I'm like, fucking Resident Evil already. So I know it comes out May 7th, and the funny thing is now they opened up the demo. I guess, Brett, they heard you. So they opened up the demo, so it's going to be available from May 1st to May 9th now. Before it was only going to be available 24 hours. Yeah, from May 1st to May 2nd, a 24-hour window. And it's like, that's bullshit. So they opened it up the whole week. But the funny thing is the game comes out May 7th. So
on Mother's Day.
Yee.
Mother Miranda.
Yeah, and it's Mother Miranda, which we haven't seen. So you give your mom Lady Dimitrescu a card.
Yeah, Demetrescu, by the way. That's how you say her name. I was like, oh, there's no ooh in there. Demetrescu? Like, no, it's just Demetrescu.
Yeah, Dimitrescu.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, funny thing about Resident Evil 8, right? I was talking to Jeffrey, my editor. I was like, yo, I'm like, I'm down to review the game. And he's like, oh, Mike Williamson reviewing it for it. And literally my first thought was like, oh, shit, I got to just play this game for fun. That was my first thought. Because I'm not...
It's for fun.
Yeah, I'm like, I got to just play for fun. No shit. So I'm hyped, man. Like I said on Twitter, we got Returnal. We got Resident Evil 8. We got Ratchet Clank. We got Final Fantasy, the new one. We got games coming finally. This is good.
Forgot one.
Throw Mass Effect in there, Yep.
Yeah,
that was the one I was missing, right? People were like, I just didn't kind of because it's it's a remaster or whatever, but
kind of like Nier doesn't really count almost.
I count it because it's new enough.
Well, it's a new game.
Yeah, so you know what? Throw that in there too. So yeah, games are coming out.
It's not a 5 game though.
No, it's not a 5 game. Neither is Mass
Village,
Effect.
neither is Resident Evil.
Oh,
it's a PS4 version.
Yep. Yeah.
Neither is Horizon.
Damn, I think the only other game I'm hyped for is Tony Hawk Pro Skater, the 1 and 2, but it's coming to Switch.
Here we go.
So, I love that game. I love it. Take that, put it on everything. I'm definitely gonna Switch.
Put it on everything.
That's it. Put it on everything.
Yeah. Chris, anything else?
Oh no, that's it. I haven't had time to play anything else.
All right, good stuff. All right, let's start wrapping it up. Riku, do you want to plug anything?
Man, at Rikuson1 on Twitter. That's it, man.
Good stuff. Check out all the JRPG hot takes from Riku,
Yeah.
All right, any word on new Turtles game? Who knows, bro? Who knows? Mighty nerd, what's going on, man? Manny, you have anything?
The message, official email.
I'm so hyped for that. Give me that fucking game, man. Give me that game.
I was like, you guys interested? Of course, we're fucking interested.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Just checking. I was like, all right. So, yeah, I'm glad it's coming though. They make it seem like it's coming at least in the summer. I don't know why I feel like the summertime.
Yeah.
I mean,
summertime.
Didn't Streets of Rage also 4 come out in like the summer or something?
It came out in April.
In April,
yeah, around this time,
May.
April, May, around this time, yeah.
There's supposed to be an update for that.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's that where you play as the other characters. Some of the villains you play as the cop, the female cop.
Yeah, didn't that already come out?
I don't think so. Did it? I know it's coming. Maybe it did.
Ooh, I can't wait. Manny, do you have anything to plug, sir?
I mean, the usual things. Excellence is real. The Excellence is coming out. Also got just finished off a thing for DC, so that's coming up soon. It's Superman related.
Ooh.
Exclusive. So yeah, fun stuff. So yeah, they should be talking about that pretty soon. And then I got a bunch of other things, in the pipeline. So stay tuned for that.
Adam.
Tomorrow we'll have another episode of I Am Negan for Fear the Walking Dead. I think this is episode 10 or 11. 10 or 11. One of these fucking things. It came back though, season 6. It's good. So far it's good. The last one's a little slow, but this from what I've seen so far, because I was watching some of it before this show went on. It looks good. So yeah, go check it out. I Am Negan over on Spotify, iTunes, Coalition, YouTube. It's everywhere. So we'll have that coverage, that discussion. Myself and Richard Bailey Jr.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
No, Carlos.
Yeah.
We keep telling him he's got to jump in. Everybody that he thinks he knows about is dead, so it don't matter. Just jump in. It's a whole new crew of people. So it's a fresh start.
They told me they don't need me. They're like, yeah, you're doing Invincible, now screw you.
By the way, it's a perfect segue. So yes,
I got a work set right after this.
Yo, I saw it before the show. Ooh, get ready, man.
I don't want you to end the show right now. So
let's do this shit. All right, people, we'll see you next time later. So check out our spoiler alert, or that's what spoiler cast for Invincible episode 8. Yo, it's gonna be a good one. Yo, you guys are not ready, man. So it's gonna be me, Richard, Carlos, Dana, and maybe Chris? ?
I'll try to be on there.
Yeah,
I gotta watch I gotta finish the show. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's Carlos, get ready, man. So I got to end the show for Carlos because he needs to see Invincible, you know? Oh, yeah. So anyway, make sure you follow us on Twitch and Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube. Join the Discord where Moppets is throwing some crazy rumors. The latest crazy rumor was that there's not going to be a Call of Duty this year. Like, bro, I don't know where these rumors come from, man. Adam will fucking
that's a
riot.
Given, man. That is a damn given.
Maybe that's why Bobby Kotick
and Call of Duty every year.
Maybe that's why Bobby Kotick took a pay cut. He did no Call of Duty this year. Anyway, find us on any podcast app by searching for Throwdown Show. It's 2 words, Throwdown Show, and visit throwdownshow.com to listen to past episodes. If you're watching us on YouTube and you enjoyed this episode, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Links to everything down below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you later, guys.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Later, people.
Adam Vale.
A good weekend, people.
Brett Murdoch.
Deuces.
And Riku-san 1, the only one.
Peace out, people.
All right, people. See you on Sunday. Keep them questions coming. Later.
Peace.
Peace.
Later.
Later.